Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday, and welcome to a special edition of Transcending the Culture. I am your host for today. I am on the solo tip. So, the beautiful Cat Queen is not with me today, but she is here in spirit. She may even pop up in those comments. So, make sure that you guys are down there. Make sure that you guys throw some comments in the box. Make sure that you ask any questions that you may have for our guest today. We appreciate you. I appreciate you for checking in again on this special day on this Sunday. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Weather's good where you are. I am in Cleveland, as you guys know. Finally, we have cooled down a little bit, so weather's going really good here. But we're going to go ahead and kick off with the show today. I got an amazing guest in the building for you guys today. For more than 25 years, Nial Martin has used the performing arts or has used performing arts to do more than entertain audiences. He has used, this to transform lives. As the founder, president, and CEO of No Jive Productions Inc., Martin has built a legacy of producing thought-provoking stage productions that address the realities many families experience but often struggle to discuss. His award-winning play A Father's Love has moved audiences across the country through its honest portrayal of family relationships, mental health, forgiveness, identity, and the lasting impact of a parent's love or absence. Returning to the stage on August 29, 2026, the production continues the mission of encouraging healing through conversation. So today we are sitting down with the visionary behind the production to discuss the purpose, pain, faith, and why the story continues to resonate with audiences everywhere. So I want you guys to join me in welcoming Niall Martin to the platform. What's going on, man?
Hey, everything is good. Thank you so much. I'm blessed for you to even have me on your show. So I greatly do
Absolutely.
appreciate that to continue
Absolutely, man.
to spread this message.
For sure, for sure. This is really, really cool. I always feel like, with each show, it's like, okay, man, this is like one of our best shows. But when I tell you that my partner, my co-host, who's usually here with me, she's actually my cousin, Cat
Oh,
Queen.
okay.
Um, I usually think that we get all like the most viewers and whatnot when she's on the platform with me, which
Uh-huh.
normally is all the time. But she is not here with us today. I see these people are like rushing in here. I see the numbers are jumping up as we're just getting started. So I'm actually really, really excited. Now I'm like, shit, they watching me. So it's kind of cool. But welcome to the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to
So
be here.
just to kind of get things started off, I kind of want to tap on. I'll start off, a little bit with the vision. A
Mhm.
Father's Love has become much more than a stage play. When you first wrote it, what was the message that what was the message that was placed on your heart?
Well, I wanted to tell my story, and I wanted to tell the story of so many other men or females that may be going through something in reference to not having that father around, craving for that unconditional love from your father. My father haven't been in my life. He's been in and out. Every time I try to put my hand out and grab his, you think I'm gonna will him in, but next thing you know, he's pulling away. So really, A Father's Love is an emotional stage play that explores family, forgiveness, trauma, healing at the same time, and searching for that unconditional love
Yeah,
from your father that you never had.
yeah. The title itself, like I know for a fact that it resonates with so many
Mhm,
people. But
mhm.
the title, it carries so much weight. What does a father's love like? What does that mean to you today versus when you first started doing it?
Well, actually, today, so I remember sitting in my room and I was thinking and I was crying. I was about maybe 16 years old.
Okay.
And I just couldn't understand how come my father don't love me? How come my father is not in my life? And I had to start that healing journey for myself. And by writing this show, it allowed me to heal and it allowed me to touch so many people by doing this show in so many different places that we've been to, and people have came up to me and said, "I'm so happy we did the show." I remember doing the show one time. It was a long time ago when we did it, and I remember a young lady, Caucasian lady, came up to me with her son, well, her grandson, and she said with tears in her eyes, and she was like, "I'm so happy you did this show, and I want him to know that despite that his father is not in his life, that I love him, and I'm blessed that you did the show." And I was blown away. I was like, "Wow, Caucasian
Yeah,
people
yeah,
are watching this show, and I'm touching somebody's Caucasian."
yeah.
Originally I wrote it for my
But that shows,
people,
but that shows
but
how universal it is, though, because I mean, regardless of race and all of that stuff, like a lot of people, a lot of us are dealing with the same issues and the same traumas, and like
exactly.
the same stories. Like a lot of
Hmm.
us have that same background, and I say all the time, like for as divisive as the world is right now and how separated so many people are, we don't realize how much we really have in common with each other. And we all have
Exactly.
like something like that. A story like this is it's like majorly universal. So it's gonna reach
Exactly.
a lot of people.
And I didn't allow, by me not having my father in my life,
Yeah,
to define my journey and where I wanted to go at
yeah,
all.
yeah,
So, and that's the beauty of this particular show and the beauty of my growth, that I was able to still be the man that I am today
yeah,
without him even being present in my life.
yeah. And I feel like, while this, clearly it touches on situations, where someone's father may not be in the picture, but I think it can also be tremendously helpful to someone whose father is in the picture, but they're just
Mhm.
not, quote unquote present.
Right, exactly.
Because you get
No,
because you get a lot of that too.
yeah. The father could be in the house, but he's really not there.
Yeah,
Mentally,
yeah,
he's checked out. He
yeah,
got his own issues, own
yeah,
problems. So yeah, definitely
yeah.
100% and stuff.
Um,
And we oh go ahead.
well, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no. And we do show some of those things in the show because we touch on so many things in the show. It blows your mind.
Yeah,
And I just want to say before I do forget that I am so grateful for the people who have been a part of this journey. We work with people like Dorian Wilson from the Parkers. He was in the show one time.
yeah. That,
Terrell
Dorian
Carter.
Wilson. That was Mr. Ogilvy, wasn't it? Oh, the Stanley Ogilvy.
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
He's a wonderful person. Also to Terrell Carter, who's the star of the show. He plays
yeah,
Matthew in the show.
yeah,
So I've been very grateful to have a really good cast of people who actually believe in this
yeah.
project.
And to me, that takes it so much further when you have people of their stature. When you think of Terrell Carter and you think of Dorian Wilson, when you have people of their stature, and people who have been in this business for as long as they have, who are taking part in this and really helping to push it forward, like that, to me, that works miracles.
Right, definitely. And let's get it clear. Dorian Wilson is not part of the Florida show, but he's done shows with us in the
Yeah,
past. But definitely Terrell Carter, he's a part of the Miami show that we're
gotcha.
currently doing. But
Now, how often does the cast switch up? Because I actually was going to ask you about that, because I know a lot of times some of the cast, they can't go and do other cities and that type of
mhm.
thing.
We, we really don't switch casts up too much. It just really depends on everybody's schedules. Some are under contract shooting movies, films, so it just really depends. I think this right here is probably maybe like the second time that we had to switch casts up just a little bit. But the cast members are pretty much set. We have cast members from all over. From LA, from New York, Miami, Atlanta. So when we do our casting calls, I look for everyone from literally everywhere. We fly them in, take care of them, treat them like celebrities. You don't have to be a celebrity to be a part of our show. So I do want to make that, clear. I do look for raw talent, people who are hungry for this business and people who that actually want to make a difference in somebody's life and make a
Yeah,
change.
yeah.
So,
No,
and I'm not, and I do this because I truly have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. I do this because I truly have a passion for helping people to achieve their long-term dream, to have them work with different celebrities that they probably would never had the opportunity to do, if there wasn't for this particular production company that I have, and it's not about the money for me, it's more about seeing these actors, seeing these thespians, all the way down from the technical director, lighting director, security, merchant person, to see their dreams come true to work on a live theater, you know, atmosphere.
Yeah. I I smile so big as you're saying that because
Mhm,
it's more of a situation of like minds. I was
mhm,
just having a conversation with I'll say she's family, but somebody I went to high school with, and we've done some
uh-huh,
media work together. So we were literally just on the phone. I hung up with her to get on the video with you,
uh-huh,
and I was just having a conversation with her about her launching a media company
mhm,
because of the media stuff that she's doing, and being able to bring people on to do their podcast through her network and
mhm,
whatnot.
mhm.
We were just talking about her doing that, the fact that I'm doing a lot of that, and just the fact that I'm doing it for the passion and for the love of it. Like, it's not about the money, and she's more
Uh,
about obviously speaking stuff into existence. So when I said
right,
it's not
right.
about the money for me, she started talking in the background. Jesus, he's lying. He wants money. He wants money. He needs money. God, don't let the money not come in. But I'm like, I get it. I want it, but that's not what I'm doing it for. Like, I'm
Right.
doing it to be able to help somebody, and for somebody who
Mhm,
wants to be able to do media, like the
mhm,
same way I wanted to do media, and I had to figure out my own way to do it because I was in
mhm.
Cleveland. I couldn't get to anywhere else
Right,
to
right.
be able to do it. Now here I am, 25 years later. I've been doing, celebrity media and whatnot, and
Mhm,
I've been right here in Cleveland. So
mhm,
no, I get that, and to
mhm.
me that makes it, all the more better what it is that you're doing.
Yeah,
Just because
definitely.
you're doing so much to help somebody else to get into this and
Mhm.
be able to do what they love.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. That's what my heart is.
Yeah,
Long as they're happy, long as I have a roof over my head,
yeah,
I don't have to be a millionaire.
right,
But I think my purpose in life is to help other people because
absolutely,
it gives me so much joy to actually sit back in the audience and just see how everything comes together. Like once the show starts, my hand is off.
yeah,
It's up to that stage manager, that director, or whatever lighting person that they calling the cues. It's theirs, and just sitting back and just feel that excitement backstage that they accomplished something means so much. And speaking of you in Cleveland, Ohio, Dave Tolliver, who's in our show too from the group
yeah,
Men at Large,
yeah.
he's from Cleveland. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's,
he's a
Men
part of
at
our
Large.
show.
Yeah, Men at Large and the Levert Experience. We actually,
Exactly.
my friend and I, we were just talking about that because they were on Transcending the Culture last year.
Oh, nice, nice. Yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
spoke to him the other day. Today is his wife him and his wife anniversary. So
yeah,
happy anniversary if you're watching.
yeah.
But yeah, I have a really good team. I am blessed
It
to
sounds
say
like it,
that.
man. That it
Mhm.
sounds like it, and that's really good. And I know that the way that you're coming to them and the stuff that you're doing to help put other people on. Like, I know that has so much to do with the success that you've been having and the success that you'll continue to have. Like, I think it's amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Now,
Yeah.
as far as kind of getting back to like the storyline and the play, forgiveness, is one of the central themes of the play. What
Mhm.
would you say that you have learned personally about forgiveness through creating this production?
I'm gonna let you know right now. Forgiveness is hard.
It is.
I'm a tourist the bull, okay, and we can hold stuff to the grave after the
Yeah,
grave.
yeah,
But forgiveness is so hard. Like it took me a long time to finally say I forgive my father,
yeah.
and for not being there in my life. I don't know. There's no formula to it. It's literally I remember going down to North Carolina to go see him,
Okay.
and we was talking and everything. My father, he is, he tells a lot of stories, give me hopes and dreams a lot.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I said I booked my plane ticket. I said I'm coming down to see you. We're gonna chop it up, and he ghosted me pretty much,
Oh,
and that really hurt it. But for some reason, I don't know if it took that. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, I was able to forgive him.
yeah,
And like, I'm so at peace right now with him. Like, if he calls, he calls. It doesn't bother me as it used to bother me.
yeah,
I think it just takes time, to be honest with you.
yeah,
There's no formula to forgive somebody. Like, I can't,
yeah,
people always say, you need to forgive people, for you, blah, blah, blah. I could tell you I forgave that person, but if I don't feel it in my heart and in
yeah,
my soul, then it means nothing.
yeah,
But I'm at the point now where I truly have forgiven him. So
yeah,
no matter what he says, it doesn't bother me no more.
yeah.
So
I
so
think a
yeah.
lot of it too. and I think from my own experience, I think a lot of it has to do with kind of working on yourself because
Mhm.
and the reality is I have my own issues with my father from growing up, and he was present,
Mhm.
present and not present, but he was present
Mhm.
though. I knew
Right.
where he was. I obviously could get to him if I needed to,
Mhm.
that sort of thing. But I had my own issues, and it took a long time for me to really be in that place of just
Mhm.
letting the old stuff go and whatnot. And
Right.
I think a lot of it had to do with my son. My son is 19 now, getting ready to turn 20. But I think once he
Mhm.
came around, it was more like, okay, I'm over it. I'm over it. I
Mhm.
just want you to be, there for him and
Right.
that sort of thing. So I don't know. I think a lot of it just has to do with you working on yourself. And I think that once you do that part, then
Mhm.
it's a lot easier for you,
Right.
to go through the forgiveness and whatnot.
And I agree with you 100%. And that takes time.
Yeah,
That takes time, loving myself. I had to, truly learn how to love myself. Like, who
yeah,
am I?
yeah,
What does that really looks like?
mhm,
I take myself out on solo trips,
yeah.
dinner, breakfast.
I was
I
I was just
truly
talking about that.
at first it's kind of uncomfortable because you're like, okay, are they looking at me, here by myself?
Yeah, yeah.
But to be honest with you, I enjoy it. Like, I truly
Man,
enjoy
listen,
it.
I just but with my friend, I was just on the phone with her. We part of the conversation. I just said my birthday's coming up next month, and I want to go to Detroit. And she's like, "Well, who you going with?" Me. And she's like, "Well, you ain't gonna find nobody." Not really. I've said if they don't pop up, I will
Mhm.
absolutely go by myself. I ain't got no problem with it. I will go to the casino and go to the Motown Museum and have a good time and come on back
Mhm.
home. I'll be just fine.
Right. Mhm.
So yeah, I get that.
I totally agree with you. And I gotta say too, and then I've been able to build my own family
Yeah,
too as well. Like my no jive crew, like my tour manager Richard,
yeah,
he is like my older brother. I have my right hand, Alicia, Carlos, DeAndre, just a whole bunch of people that's
yeah,
rooting for not only me but for no jive.
yeah,
And so and they have my back 100%.
yeah.
So, it takes I have good people around me. I don't have a lot of people around me. People
But
think I
it's a
have a whole
village.
bunch of friends, but
It,
literally maybe four people,
but it,
So
that listen, that's no matter how big or small, it's a village. So like
exactly.
when you have that, like all is good. No,
Hmm.
I think that's dope. Um, Mental health conversations. That's something that I
Hmm.
really wanted to touch on as well. It obviously has become so much more common today, but
Hmm.
there's still a stigma, within many communities, ours especially. How does a father's love, kind of help break some of those barriers?
Well, we talk a little bit about suicide. Can Matthew go through a major depression and talks about suicide? And that's something I wanted to incorporate in the show
Yeah,
because I tried to commit suicide twice. One time with pills, the second time with, slicing my wrist, and I still got the scar here. Thank God I'm past that, everybody. So don't be
yeah,
trying to call nobody, I'm past it. But
yeah,
but and people don't realize the effect that depression has amongst people in general. I'll never forget that day. That day I just got tired of, not feeling loved, not feeling wanted by my father or just family in general. I remember driving to my friend house at the time, and he knew something was wrong because usually I'll come in, making jokes or whatever the case may be. And this particular day I was just quiet, and I would never forget, went to the kitchen, got a knife, and went to the bathroom and just start slicing my wrist. And the crazy thing is that it was and I'm not going crazy. I'm not crazy, but it was a pain that actually felt good, if that makes sense.
yeah,
By seeing the blood, it's like releasing all that hurt and all that pain. And I remember going back again because I was trying to get a sharper knife to go deeper, and that's when my friend caught me and saw me. He was a thank God he was a nurse,
yeah,
and he saw that it wasn't too deep, but he did what he had to do to bandage it up or whatever. And I'll never forget. And this is how I know that God is so powerful as well. He put me in the bed. I was crying, bawling, and I just remember him praying over me. And as soon as he said amen, my whole body became relaxed. It's crazy. And I went to sleep just like that. And but I never tried it after that. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just, it's real. And I wanted that part in the show so people could see,
Yeah.
what somebody is going through. But go ahead.
No, I would.
Oh.
I just was gonna say like those are the types of things that really hit audiences. And I mean, I've
Mhm.
seen so many different comments on just the play itself. I mean, you got people from DC, people from Atlanta, people from North Miami. Like people have been seeing this, and they've had so many amazing comments. Like the response that you're getting back, is it something that you expected, or what was your expectation just in terms of the impact that it would have?
Actually, I wasn't expecting too much because I'm one of those people where I don't like to read or like to see the comments because I get
Yeah,
nervous.
yeah,
But from what I'm hearing, the response is good. What I'm hearing from Terrell performance is good. When I tell you, not only Terrell can sing, but this boy can act. When he get into that character and when he get into the emotions with his father, and going back and forth with his father in the argument, and the tears and just like the snot dropping down his face because he's so hurt, because his father wasn't there for him, his father wasn't listening to him, you know it fills my heart with joy. It really does, to knowing that people, I'm listening to people and seeing people taking out their tissues because they feel the pain of Matthew going through all these different emotions, emotions of depression, emotion trying to live up to his father, playing, football, playing basketball, playing, you know soccer, just trying to be the man that he trying to be the man that he want, that trying to be the man that he want his father to see him as, because his father is a pastor, a church going brother, but he also has his demons, that a lot of people don't talk about, and the show, it's not a faith-based show. It's a show that's dealing with real life issues that's going on today. And just so you know, the show, that's want to put it out here, the show is for adults. Don't bring your 5-year-old, 10-year-old to the show.
let's
You've
make
been
that clear.
pre-warned.
Let's make that clear, folks. No,
It's for adults.
get a
Um,
babysitter. Get a baby.
yes, yes. But it's hardcore emotions. And I just sit back a lot of times and just, dang, I wrote that,
Yeah,
and I was like, it's just, you have to come see the show. If we're in Cleveland,
I was
Ohio,
I
I
was
would
gonna ask
definitely
you
give you
like,
two
will it come
tickets.
to
Yeah.
Ohio or?
We're actually, there's three more stops that we're working on. Cleveland, Ohio is one of them because I know if we don't do Cleveland,
Oh,
Dave's gonna kill me,
you're right.
so because he's from Cleveland, Philly, and also Chicago.
Okay,
And
okay,
then I really want to work on filming the movie version of the
okay,
show.
okay,
So that's
okay.
something I'm going to be working on. And I'm excited too that I'm finally finished my book version of A
Okay.
Father's Love. So that's
Oh,
going to be
that's
coming
dope.
out in August. So I'm
Oh,
excited
that's
about
dope.
that
I'm
as
releasing the
well.
book too, so now that's dope.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Now that's it. Now that's exciting, man. I love that it's a stage play, and then you're looking at making it into a movie, and you got a book of it. Like that's dope, man.
Definitely. It's a lot of work, but I
I,
love it,
trust me,
you know.
I get that part of it too. But I mean, just to see it all come together, like how does it make you feel? Knowing that you've pulled all of this stuff together, kind of out of nowhere.
Mhm. I'm overwhelmed, but in a good way.
Yeah,
I'm ecstatic. I'm happy, that I'm able to pull all this together and just being, starting, at the age of 16 with a little
I,
boy who had a dream that wanted to inspire people. Because I was shy, I was bullied, I was called names growing up, but you know, theater brought the good out of me. I
yeah,
was able to go on stage and be somebody that I wasn't, that little shy little boy. Niall, he's the shy person. He is very, he ain't talking at all. But
yeah.
then you get the alter ego, Alfonso. Alfonso's the one that got the confidence. He'll walk in any room, own it, So, but
Yeah.
yeah, you know.
I love the fact that you mentioned, starting at 16? You must be reading my questions, man,
Uh,
because that was actually part of that was in my next question.
oh, that's okay.
I was just going to say that you began producing at just 16. So, like, looking back, what would you tell that young dreamer today?
Be patient.
Yeah,
Be patient.
yeah,
Definitely to be
it's a
patient.
virtue.
I remember being 16 years old. My first production was Open Your Eyes. And honestly, I didn't know what the heck I was doing at
That,
all.
that sounds just like me
you
with the
know?
media stuff. When I got into media, I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it.
I remember doing the show, Open Your Eyes, literally just had a whole bunch of monologues. It wasn't like really put together, but it was like a whole bunch of monologues that teenagers was going through and stuff like that. There was literally no set. It was just a backdrop, and we might had a picture of a church up there or something like that. And now that I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, did I really do a show like that?
Yeah,
Literally no nothing on set,
yeah.
just people walking on and off stage.
Uh-huh.
But hey,
You got to start
it
somewhere,
brought
man.
me here. So
Yeah, it got you here. You got to start somewhere, man. Like,
I think I had like 10 people maybe in the audience.
man, I think it's dope. Like, I love talking to people like yourself, just because I think of a lot of, like, my journey of getting into media back in 2001, 2002, and
Mhm.
just where I was then versus where I am now, and how I was doing interviews back then. And I can remember interviewing celebrities over the phone, and I had the little wired microphone to the receiver, so, or to the earpiece, so you could catch what they
Right,
said through. And I'm like,
right.
I'm like, and then I had to sit down and actually transcribe the interview and type it out. And I'm like, I'm gonna make this shit work, man. So, like, to be able to see how you have pulled all of this stuff together and how you making it work, like, I think is beyond amazing. Like, through No Jive Productions, you've been able to combine entertainment with mentorship and community outreach. Like, why has service remained such an important part of your journey?
Because someone gave me an opportunity. I went to theater at the Coconut Grove Children's Theater with Corky Dozier, and she's a huge producer. She helped people like Gloria Stefan, Pitbull.
Yeah,
She actually, but I will never forget. She knows I love Janet Jackson, right? And and I was like, I really want to meet Janet Jackson. And I was like, dang, how am I gonna meet Janet Jackson? Like, she don't know who the heck I am,
yeah,
And I remember she was doing an event, so I helped her out with the event, and she was like, Niall, you know what? Janet Jackson coming to town, and I know her tour manager, and we're gonna make this happen. And I'm like, you lying. I ain't gonna meet no Janet Jackson. So next thing you know, I get a phone call from her, and she was like, listen, it's a go. All right, this is where you need to meet me at. We're gonna go. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to meet Janet Jackson.
yeah,
So, we're going to the arena, going backstage or whatever where we park at. I
yeah,
was like, oh my God, I still couldn't believe it, and so went through security. She called the tour manager, her tour manager at the time, and I was like, wow. Her tour manager, see how small this world is.
yeah,
Her tour manager used to go to the Coconut Grove Children's Theater, and she was actually taught us theater
yeah.
and music as well. And I'm like, this world is that small. I didn't
Yeah,
remember because I was a kid then,
yeah,
So we went backstage, met Janet, um, actually ate food that the dancers and everybody else was eating.
yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. Next thing you know, I saw somebody come in from Live Nation, backstage. They had to count that money, make sure that money was straight. But
Right,
it was
right.
like,
Yeah,
but it was just such an amazing experience
yeah,
and I'll never forget her for doing that for me, allow my dreams to come true,
yeah.
to meet Janet Jackson. And Janet, she is such a sweetheart.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, she's a
was she?
sweetheart.
I was, and listen, she's on my list. When I tell you, I probably tweet her at least once a week, and I'm like,
you
I
know,
just gotta meet you at some point. But was meeting her what you expected it to be?
actually, yes, and more. And
That's
the crazy thing is
that's a
too,
good thing, though.
how you see people on television, they're crying because they met their favorite celebrity or they like, passing out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Listen, I ain't gonna lie. I lost it all.
yeah,
I was crying too. I couldn't hold it together.
I listen, man. I get it. My two were Faith Evans
Oh,
and
nice.
um, Faith Evans and Angela Robinson from the Haves and the Have-Nots.
Oh, wow, nice. Okay.
So actually Angela, she did the cover of my first magazine. So
Okay.
she had done the cover, and then one year I ended up doing media at Essence Fest
Oh,
and
nice.
went out to do the media there, and she was there with the cast, and I ended up meeting
Mhm.
her and actually the entire cast at that point. But
Oh, okay.
it's everything that I expected. But I asked that because a lot of times, you want to meet somebody so bad, and then you meet them, and it ends up not being what you really wanted it to be, or
Uh,
whatever.
it was even more like
Yeah,
I'll never forget that moment. Never forget that moment. And it just makes me so full of joy because I said to myself, there's a few things I want to do in life before I leave this world.
yeah,
And I was like, dang God, I'm almost there. I ain't ready to leave yet.
right.
And that was meeting Janet Jackson, going to Africa twice, going on tour with the show.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, the only thing left is really producing a movie and my book. I said, well, I ain't ready to go yet, God. Let me
yeah.
come up with some other goals.
Listen, you ain't going nowhere yet, man. Like you are too needed here. So you're not going nowhere, man. Like you are doing amazing work, and really just to kind of expound on that, like you've been recognized for your contributions to the arts, including receiving a City of North Miami proclamation. Like what does
Yes.
that type of recognition mean, compared to hearing someone say that your work changed their life?
It means a lot, that the city recognize and see my value and seeing my work and see how I help people and creating jobs for people
Yeah,
in the North Miami area as well as other areas as well. I love creating jobs. I
yeah,
love being able to sit down and write out a check and sign a check and pay somebody.
yeah,
Helping somebody pay their rent, their car, whatever it is. That gives me so much joy, and it's crazy how it feels like. I know Alicia be like, boy, you get too happy writing these checks, you know but it's I don't know what it is, but it brings me so much happiness. It
I get
really
it.
truly
I,
does.
I get it. Like when you feel like you are a part of making somebody else's dreams come true, that they
Hmm.
they they saw no other way of you. Like to me, that's the biggest kind of reward that you can get out of all of this.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
And also too, I did the show in Atlanta as well. And Shirley Garrett at the time when he was alive, I don't know if
I,
you remember him. He was the first, before Tyler Perry was Tyler Perry. He was the
yeah,
first godfather of theater. And I promised him, that I will always mention his name in my interviews and my shows, because he took me under his wing
yeah,
and said, "Oh my God," he saw my marketing stuff. It's
yeah,
like, "Oh my God, you a little bit too advanced. What you here?" Because I was taking
yeah,
one of his classes, and he took me under his wing, and he came to see my show, and I'll never forget. He was like, "Wow, this is not just a stage play. This is a production."
yeah,
And that's one of his quotes that last quotes that he gave me. Well, last show that he saw of mine before he transitioned.
yeah,
And I just want to give him props for supporting me and being there for me,
yeah,
taking my phone calls when I had questions about certain things. And I remember when he wanted me to come up to Atlanta to meet up with him, and I'm with my tour manager and my personal manager. Was like, okay, we need to find the most expensive restaurant, something nice, because we have to show him that we're about business.
yeah,
And I will never forget, Shelly Garrett's like, let's meet at McDonald's for coffee.
yeah,
I was like, I'm thinking McDonald's. I
yeah,
was like, okay, McDonald's,
mhm,
fine.
yeah.
But that goes to show that he's human,
That he was
and
human
he
and
and
still
he's
down to
humble.
earth. Yeah,
Exactly. And
yeah.
I'm over here trying to find a fancy restaurant,
Uh huh.
but all he wanted was to go to McDonald's and chop it
Right,
up.
right. I think
you
that's
know?
I think that's dope. I give him a lot of props too, because just in terms of me doing media, like he was one of the first, really big people to support me. Like I had an opportunity to interview him,
No.
and that was probably one of the dopest experiences. And I've just learned, I think, in more recent years, I've learned really to kind of take stock in a lot of the people that I've talked to, because like I talk to so many people that I tend to forget, and then it's like years later, I'll just be thinking about something and like, I did interview him. And
Right.
when you mentioned Shelly Garrett, I'm like, I did interview Shelly Garrett, and he's one of the first really big people to support me. Besides Angela Robinson, and I mean I've been able to
Right.
do stuff with Maya and
Mm,
Lil
mm,
Wayne and like a ton of people, like a ton of people since 2001. Like I
mhm.
couldn't begin to count how many people I've interviewed
Right.
over these years. Really, really cool.
Nice.
Um, After everything that you have overcome personally, what continues to inspire you to, continue telling these stories?
I know people are still hurting. People are still needed to heal. Conversations need to be had within the family homes, between a father and a son, or a father and a daughter, or a mother and a son, mother and
Yeah,
a daughter. These conversations still need to be had,
yeah,
and sometimes I feel that maybe no one truly showed the parent how to love, or how they
right,
never been loved. So they don't know sometimes, you know, how to show love because they never been truly loved.
right, right.
And so like in my family, I'm the, I don't want to say the black sheep, but black sheep. I speak my mind,
Yeah,
and a lot of times people don't like that
yeah,
when you do speak your mind. But I definitely want to continue the legacy of telling stories that matter. We're definitely different. We're not, the typical stage plays or the gossip. I mean gossip, the gospel, faith based. We our stories, it just is real. When I say real, it's real and emotional as well. But also too, we got our crazy Juanica, who brings the laughter as well, in the show, to keep the show going. But yeah, that's what I definitely would have to say.
okay. Before we close out, I got some rapid fire questions, just a handful of them that I'm gonna ask you, and you just tell me first thing that comes up. One word that describes your purpose.
One word describes my purpose. That would be, um, that's really good. That's a good question, actually, because I have so many. I have so many.
Yeah.
But one word that describes my purpose in life, I would say, um, I would have to say, oh my God, so many come up for me. Oh my God, you really stumped me on this one. And you said
Not on
one
the
word.
first
It's
one,
so,
man.
I know it's just so many of them that I really want to say, to be honest. Um, I would have to say, um, I would say one word. Oh my God, that's love. I don't know. Love,
Okay.
giving love. I don't know.
Okay. Um, the best lesson that your father or a father figure ever taught you.
Oh, the best lesson is to be patient and to also stay humble.
Okay. A play that everyone should experience at least once.
A father's love.
I was praying you was gonna say that. But what's one misconception about forgiveness?
One mistake, that it happens overnight, because it doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
It takes time.
What gives you hope today?
What gives me hope today is seeing what, actually, what truly gives me hopes is the fact that I was able to forgive my father
Yeah,
and to truly move on with my life, knowing that I'll never truly get the closure that I always wanted,
yeah.
and I'm cool with it.
Okay. Your legacy in one sentence.
My legacy is going to be to Niall was known to inspire others, to help others, to create opportunities, and to shine bright.
Okay. Now, my final question, I'm gonna say, if someone walks into a father's love, carrying years of pain, resentment, or unanswered questions about family, what do you hope that they will feel when the curtain falls?
And then definitely when the curtain falls, I hope it'll be able to, they'll feel some type of peace. They will feel, if it's a parent or a father, mother, they will be able to open up a dialogue with their son or daughter and talk about some of the issues that maybe what their child is going through. Sometimes I think parents need to just listen to their child versus trying to come up with rebuttals
Yeah,
on, oh, well, that's not true. Just say sorry.
yeah,
Understand your child. Take a few days to listen and comprehend what they're going through or what they experience. Um, and then have a conversation
right.
sometimes. Stop trying to defend yourself all the
Yeah,
time. It's not all
yeah.
about defending yourself.
Now, I think that is great advice. Before we let you go, I just want to make sure that once again I tell everybody, or if you can tell everyone why should they experience a father's love on Saturday, August 29th of this year, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. at the Julius Littman Performing Arts Center. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, you are. Yes.
Okay.
It's gonna,
And
yes.
what you hope audiences or audience members, will take home, after the final bow.
Mhm. So definitely should come to the Julius Littman Theater on August 29th. Show starts at 7:30. Tickets can be purchased on Eventbrite. We are sold out of the VIP tickets, but we do have other tickets available.
Now those
So
are
do not.
the VIPs are the most expensive ones, so that means it's doing good.
Yeah, definitely. So you're gonna experience laughter, you're gonna experience joy, you're gonna experience even feeling the pain of Matthew and what he's going through. You're gonna be on a roller coaster ride of life. You're gonna feel the Mama Sanders home. You're gonna be welcome. All of our shows, from when you walk into the actual theater, you are already on stage. Everything is an experience. And this right here is the flyer here, if you haven't seen it already, starring Terrell Carter from Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, as well as Dave Tolliver, Jamie Knight. We have Mario, Nikki, John, and Serene from that's in the show. Trust me, this is a show you do not want to miss. And it's going to make you laugh as well. Once again, the show is not for kids. So please, once again, don't bring your 10-year-old, your 5-year-old to the show.
Yeah,
But you will enjoy this particular show, I promise you. We did a show in Atlanta, we did a show in Lauderhill, we did a show at the Warner Theater in DC. And let me tell you about that Warner Theater DC. A lot of people thought I was crazy for doing the show at the Warner Theater, like, oh, you ain't nobody. They're not gonna come see your show. And I started to believe it. But I was like, you know what? I am somebody. And guess what? They came. They didn't even know who I was. They came and they showed out. And that was a very successful show at the Warner Theater.
yeah,
And if I could do the show at the Warner Theater, guess what? I could do it anywhere.
yeah.
And so come and enjoy the experience. And I look forward to talking with you and seeing you at the show, and get your tickets. Trust me, tickets will sell out. VIP is already sold out. VIP sold out literally within 2 months of tickets going on
Man,
sale.
what's up, man?
So definitely get your tickets. There, we don't have a lot left. So get your tickets if you want to come see the show on Eventbrite, A Father's Love.
Listen, this is what happens when you multitask. I just happen to look over to the right, and I'm like, "Whoa, look at these comments in here." So now this is cool. Definitely a number of people were checking this out today. So listen, man, I appreciate you so much for taking the time out. If nothing, like Brandon will tell you, if nothing else, I love a good stage play. I drove all the way to Houston to cover a
Okay.
play of one of his clients that somebody that
Oh
they were
wow.
doing down in Texas, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm coming, and I'm gonna drive down there. 17 hours, man. It was just like, yeah."
Well, why you gonna tell me that? So you're gonna drive to North Miami, right? North Miami Beach to come see the
Well,
show, A
had you
Father's
not
Love.
mentioned Cleveland and Dave Oliver, I probably would have. And that's the other thing. I love driving too. I actually drive for Amazon too. So like I
Oh,
love driving.
okay, okay.
So if I had to, I would. So um, I'm definitely
Not
looking
Cleveland.
forward to the opportunity of seeing it. Most definitely if you guys make it to Cleveland. I'm gonna do a quick closing. I want you to hang on for a second before I let you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna
One more
talk.
thing, just follow me on all platforms.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
real Nial Martin, on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook.
Okay. So yeah, hang on, don't go nowhere.
Okay.
All you guys out there, I see a number of you are still there. Thank you guys for all of the comments. Actually, let me take this off the screen before I go forward. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for watching the interview. Of course, this is going to live permanently on the channel, so you can't go back. You can't rewatch if there's any pieces or parts that you did miss. It is running now, so I mean, anybody can go on and actually start it now from the very beginning. Nial Martin continues to prove that theater can be more than just entertainment. It can be a catalyst for healing, reconciliation, and meaningful dialogue through a father's love. He invites through a father's love, he invites audiences to confront difficult truths while reminding them that forgiveness is a journey, family is complex, and love still has the power to transform lives. Once again, I appreciate you guys for checking us out today. We did miss Cat Queen, but she is going to be back with us for our summer season, which is starting in about 2 weeks. So make sure that you guys are checking for that because we're working on something really special to bring to you guys. Once again, we appreciate you for checking the show out today. Miracle Marketing, shout out to Miracle Marketing. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Mr. Martin, thank you so much for being on here again. Like,
Mhm.
you'll know how much this means. And we'll talk again. We'll talk in a second after we come off camera. But I appreciate you, though. Thank you so much. And you guys make sure that you guys are tuning in. We will be back in a couple weeks with the summer season. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday.